Good evening, and thank you so much for joining us. I'm Erin Noon, and you're watching 13 News Now.
Welcome to 13 News Now.
We're going to break down the day's headlines. West Virginia's color-coded map for COVID-19 just got a little more colorful today. The governor is trying to make it clear which schools can hold in-person classes and after-school activities, but critics say it's getting more confusing. At his Tuesday COVID-19 briefing, Governor Jim Justice announced the color gold would represent a new level of school activity between yellow and orange. Schools in gold could have in-person classes and after-school activities, including sports. Critics say the new system is too confusing, but the governor says the old orange range of having between 11 and 25 positive cases per 100,000 people was simply unfair.
Without any question in my mind, the orange color code, the delta between the minimum and the maximum of the orange color code is just frankly too wide.
We have parents protesting at the Capitol. We have private schools going rogue, not paying attention to his executive orders, and that's all a direct result of his failed leadership. We need someone who's not going to change the rules at every single press conference.
Now the new system goes into effect today, so it will not have to wait for the usual Saturday statewide map update. Counties now ranked as gold are Mingo, Logan, Boone, Putnam, and Fayette. Well, from your local election headquarters, an Ohio judge ruled that Secretary of State Frank LaRose cannot limit county boards of elections to a single ballot drop box. The judge called LaRose's drop box restrictions arbitrary and unreasonable. A record number of Ohioans are expected to cast absentee ballots in November and have two options: return them to their county board of elections or at a drop box, or mail them in. A spokesperson says he will appeal the ruling. Over in the Bluegrass state, the city of Louisville, Kentucky has agreed to a settlement with the family of Breonna Taylor that includes a $12 million payment and police reforms after the black woman was fatally shot by police who burst into her home at night. Taylor's death sparked months of protests in Louisville and calls nationwide for the officers to be criminally charged. The lawsuit filed in April by Taylor's mother alleged the police used flawed information when they obtained a no-knock warrant to enter the 26-year-old woman's apartment in March. Meanwhile, in Oregon, Governor Kate Brown wants the president to issue a major disaster declaration for the state. The request comes as Oregon struggles to contain multiple wildfires, which have killed at least 10 people and left nearly 24 missing. The fire has already scorched nearly 190,000 acres. The governor says fire crews from out of state have arrived to help, but a disaster declaration will allow those impacted by the fires to ask for federal help. Well, there is some good news tonight for Marshall University football fans. This Saturday's game against Appalachian State at Joan C. Edwards Stadium will be televised by CBS right here on WOWK. Kickoff for the game has been moved to 3:30 p.m. and the game was initially scheduled to kick off at 1:30 on CBS Sports Network. Marshall Athletic Director Mike Hamrick says the increased national exposure will be great for the university, football program, and community. This will be the first time in 27 years that the herd will be televised by CBS Network, and it is very super exciting for them and their fans. We're going to switch gears here and see what's happening on our website at this hour. 4 more COVID-19 related deaths reported in Kanawha County. No tricks, no ban on trick-or-treating in New York State. And then, will Hurricane Sally cause problems in the tri-state area? Which is a good segue to check in with our chief meteorologist, Spencer Atkins, who's in our weather lab. Hi, Spencer. Spencer, thank you so much for that weather update. But that is going to do it for 13 News Now. Make sure to keep up to date with everything breaking, local, and trending at WOWKTV.com and our 13 News app. Like I mentioned earlier, tune into 13 News at 11 with Jennifer, Rob, Spencer, and Jake. Have a great night. We'll see you here again tomorrow.